You cannot change your life surrounded by the same people in the same environment doing the same things every single day. That's not how growth works. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly in public. It wraps itself up, goes into hiding, and comes out completely different. You need your cocoon season. Stop fighting it and start embracing what solitude can do for your soul and your future. I've seen so many people try to level up while staying in the same rooms with the same crowd. It doesn't work that way. You can't become a new person while everybody around you keeps treating you like the old one. They'll remind you of your past. They'll bring up your failures. They'll expect you to act the way you always acted. And before you know it, you're right back where you started because you never gave yourself space to grow. Think about it like this. When a doctor performs surgery, they don't do it in the middle of a crowded mall. They take you to a sterile environment. They remove all the distractions. They control who comes in and who stays out. Your life transformation is surgery on your soul. You need to control the environment. You need to remove the contamination. You need to protect the process. Some of you are so afraid of being alone that you'd rather stay broken in a crowd than be healed in solitude. That fear is costing you everything. The next version of you requires space to develop. It requires quiet to hear your own voice. It requires stillness to understand what you actually want. You can't figure out your purpose in the middle of chaos. You need to get away. And let me tell you something. The people who really love you will understand when you need to step back. They'll support your season of isolation because they want to see you win. If somebody gets offended because you need time to work on yourself, that tells you they were more concerned with having access to you than seeing you become great. Real love gives you room to grow. Here's what nobody tells you. Some people don't want you to change. They like you broken. They like you struggling. They like you stuck because it makes them feel better about being stuck themselves. When you start moving differently, they get uncomfortable. So you got to protect your process. Your evolution is not for public viewing, and everybody doesn't need a backstage pass. You have to understand that your journey is sacred. It's not entertainment for other people. It's not content for social media. It's not something you owe anybody updates on. When you're in the middle of changing your life, you're vulnerable. You're figuring things out. You're making mistakes and learning lessons. Not everybody deserves to see that. Not everybody has earned the right to witness your struggle. I've watched people share their dreams with the wrong person and have those dreams crushed in a single conversation. I've seen folks tell their plans to someone they trusted, and that person went out and did everything possible to sabotage them. Some people will smile in your face while hoping you fail behind your back. That's just the reality of human nature. You got to be smart about who you let into your inner circle. When you're becoming something new, you need to move in silence. Let people wonder what you're up to. Let them guess what you're working on. Let them be surprised when you show up transformed. There's power in privacy. There's strength in secrecy. The enemy can't attack what the enemy can't see. Keep your moves hidden until it's too late for anyone to stop you. When you emerge as the new you, the only thing people can do is respect it. They can't criticize your journey because they didn't see it. They can't minimize your struggle because they weren't there. All they can do is witness the results, and results speak for themselves in ways that words never could. You don't have to announce your plans. You don't have to tell everybody what you're working on. You don't have to post about every move you're making. Just be quiet and let your results speak. Let your success make the noise while you stay focused. The loudest one in the room is rarely the most powerful one, and you need to understand that right now. Look at the most successful people in any industry. They're not out here talking about what they're going to do. They're doing it. They're building. They're creating. They're stacking. And then one day they show up, and everybody's shocked by how far they've come. That's the power of moving in silence. While everybody else is talking, you're working. While everybody else is posting, you're progressing. There's an old saying that empty vessels make the most noise. Think about that for a second. The people who talk the most about their plans are often the ones doing the least about them. Talking gives you a false sense of accomplishment. Your brain releases the same chemicals when you announce a goal as when you achieve it. So you end up feeling satisfied without actually doing anything. That's a trap you gotta avoid. Start treating your goals like classified information. Only share them with people who are essential to making them happen. If somebody doesn't need to know, they don't get to know. This isn't about being secretive for no reason. This is about strategic protection of your vision. This is about keeping your energy focused on execution instead of explanation. When you learn to be silent, you also learn to listen. And listening is where the real wisdom comes from. You can't hear what the universe is trying to tell you if you're always talking. You can't receive guidance if you're always broadcasting. Sometimes the answer you've been looking for is right there, waiting for you to get quiet enough to hear it. Silence isn't empty. Silence is full of answers. Be honest with yourself right now. How much time do you spend trying to look successful versus actually building something real? How many hours go into curating an image when you could be developing a skill? Some of you are famous in your own minds, but broke in your bank accounts. It's time to flip that. Get rich in private. Get powerful in silence. Then let them see the finished product. We live in a world where images become more important than substance. People will rent cars for photo shoots. People will pose in front of houses they don't own. People will pretend to have lives they haven't earned. And for what? For likes, for comments, for a temporary feeling of validation that disappears the moment you put your phone down. That's not success. That's slavery to other people's opinions. Real success doesn't need an audience. Real progress doesn't require applause. The people who are truly building something meaningful don't have time to document every moment. They're too busy working. They're too focused on the goal. They understand that the energy they spend performing could be invested in producing actual results. I want you to do an honest audit of your life right now. Look at how you spend your time. Look at what you prioritize. Are you building something that will last, or are you constructing an image that will crumble the moment someone looks too closely? Are you developing skills that will pay you for years, or are you chasing attention that will forget you by tomorrow? These are real questions that deserve real answers. When you disappear from the performance stage, something magical happens. You start to find out what you're actually capable of. You start to discover talents you didn't know you had. You start to build things that have real value. The energy you wasted on pretending gets redirected into becoming. And becoming is always better than pretending. Always. I don't care how many friends you think you have. If you're not growing, your circle is the problem. Real friends push you. Real friends challenge you. Real friends make you uncomfortable because they won't let you settle. If everybody in your life is clapping for you and nobody is questioning you, you're surrounded by fans, not friends. Fans will cheer you right into failure, while real friends will correct you towards success. You need to evaluate every single relationship in your life. And I mean every single one. Ask yourself if this person makes you better. Ask yourself if this person challenges you to grow. Ask yourself if this person is going somewhere in life, or if they're content to stay exactly where they are. Because wherever they're going, they're pulling you in that direction. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. That's not just a saying, that's a scientific fact. Some of you have been loyal to people who have no loyalty to your future. You've kept people around because of history instead of destiny. Just because someone was there in your past doesn't mean they belong in your future. People are either elevators or anchors. They either lift you or weigh you down. And some of you are drowning because you refuse to cut the anchor loose. When you disappear for a season, you'll find out real quick who was really rocking with you. Watch who reaches out. Watch who checks on you. Watch who notices you're gone. And more importantly, watch who doesn't notice at all. Some people will only miss your presence when they need something from you. Those aren't friends. Those are users. And you've been too available to people who would never make themselves available to you. Building a tight circle isn't about being antisocial or arrogant. It's about being intentional. It's about protecting your peace. It's about surrounding yourself with people who are headed where you want to go. You don't need 100 friends. You need 5 solid people who will tell you the truth, hold you accountable, celebrate your wins, and lift you when you fall. Quality over quantity will change your life in ways you can't even imagine right now. Let me tell you something spiritual. The Most High never develops you in front of a crowd. Your preparation happens in secret. Your training happens behind closed doors. Joseph was in prison before the palace. David was in the fields before the throne. Moses was in the wilderness before the mission. Stop running from your hidden season, because that's where the blessing is being built. There's a reason why preparation happens in private. It's because you're not ready for the public to see you yet. You're still being shaped. You're still being molded. You're still being refined. The pressure you're feeling right now in your secret place is the same pressure that turns coal into diamonds. Don't resent it. Don't resist it. Let it do its work in you. When you look at anybody who has achieved anything significant, there's always a hidden chapter in their story. There's always a season nobody saw. There's always a struggle that happens behind closed doors. The public sees the glory, but the private reveals the story. And most people aren't willing to pay the price in private that produces the reward in public. Your hidden season is not a punishment, it's a privilege. God is investing in you one-on-one. He's teaching you things that can only be learned in solitude. He's strengthening you in ways that can only happen through personal struggle. The classroom of isolation produces graduates who are ready for their assignment. Stop trying to skip the class. And here's what's beautiful about your private season. Nobody can take credit for what God does in secret. When you emerge transformed, there's no question about who did the work. It wasn't your connections. It wasn't your network. It wasn't your charm. It was a divine hand shaping you when nobody was looking. And that kind of transformation carries an authority that cannot be manufactured or faked. Nobody changes without suffering. I wish I could tell you different, but I'd be lying. That hurt you're feeling right now, that disappointment, that failure, that heartbreak, it's all part of the process. You can't skip the pain and get to the prize. The struggle is shaping you into someone strong enough to carry what's coming. Don't waste your pain by complaining about it. Use it as fuel. Pain has a purpose that comfort will never understand. When everything is going well, you don't grow. You cruise, you coast, you get comfortable. But when pain shows up, you're forced to change. You're forced to adapt. You're forced to become stronger than you were before. Pain is the greatest teacher you'll ever have if you're willing to learn from it instead of just suffering through it. I've talked to countless people who are living their best lives right now, and every single one of them has a story of pain. Every single one. They lost something. They failed at something. They got rejected. They got betrayed. They hit rock bottom. And from that pain, they found a power they didn't know they had. Your mess becomes your message. Your test becomes your testimony. But only if you let the pain transform you instead of destroying you. Stop asking God to remove the struggle. Start asking Him to give you the strength to endure it. Stop praying for an easy life. Start praying for the power to handle a challenging one. The resistance is building your muscle. The pressure is building your character. The difficulty is building your resilience. You're being prepared for something bigger than what you're going through. And let me tell you this, the pain you're experiencing right now is temporary. It feels permanent, but it's not. Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. You're in the night season right now. The tears are falling. The hurt is real, but morning is coming. And when it arrives, you'll look back at this pain and thank God for it, because you'll see how it shaped you into who you needed to become. If you can't sit with yourself in silence, you don't know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, how can you build yourself? Some of you are terrified of being alone because you don't like who you are when nobody's around. That's exactly why you need to disappear. Get alone until you can look in the mirror and respect what you see. Get alone until your own company feels like a gift instead of a punishment. The fear of solitude drives people to make terrible decisions. They stay in bad relationships because they can't stand being by themselves. They keep toxic friends around because silence feels too loud. They fill every moment with noise and distraction because the quiet forces them to face truths they've been avoiding. But you can't run from yourself forever. Eventually, you have to sit down and have a conversation with the person in the mirror. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you stop accepting less than you deserve from others. You stop settling for crumbs because you're no longer desperate for human contact. You stop tolerating disrespect because you'd rather be alone than be mistreated. Solitude gives you standards. It teaches you your worth. It shows you that you don't need anybody to complete you because you're already whole on your own. Some of the greatest ideas in human history came from moments of solitude. Some of the most profound discoveries happened when people stepped away from the crowd and listened to their own thoughts. There's a genius inside you that can only speak when the external noise quiets down. There's a vision inside you that can only become clear when you stop looking at what everybody else is doing. I challenge you to start dating yourself. Take yourself out. Spend quality time with your own thoughts. Journal about your dreams. Reflect on your life. Get comfortable in your own skin. Fall so deeply in love with who you are that you never again feel desperate for validation from anybody else. When you become your own best friend, you'll never be lonely again. This goes for relationships, friendships, business partnerships, all of it. If you're the only one putting in effort, you need to let that thing go. Disappearing will show you real quick who actually cares. When you step back and somebody doesn't notice or reach out, that tells you everything you need to know. Pay attention to who checks on you when you go quiet. That's your real tribe right there. You deserve reciprocity in every relationship you have. You deserve people who match your energy. You deserve people who show up for you the way you show up for them. But some of you have been giving champagne treatment to people who give you tap water effort. You've been loving people who barely like you. You've been prioritizing people who treat you like an option. That ends today. When you stop chasing, two things happen. Either people chase you back or they disappear. Both outcomes are gifts. If they chase you back, you know the relationship is real. If they disappear, you know you were the only one holding it together. Either way, you get clarity. Either way, you learn the truth. And truth, no matter how painful, is always better than a comfortable lie. Your time and energy are valuable resources. Every minute you spend chasing someone who doesn't value you is a minute stolen from someone who would. Every bit of energy you waste on people who don't reciprocate is energy that could go toward building your dreams. You only have so much to give. Stop giving it to people who aren't investing anything back. I know it hurts to let go of people you love. I know it's hard to accept that someone doesn't care as much as you do. But holding on to what's not meant for you blocks what is. The relationship you're supposed to have can't arrive while you're clinging to the one you're supposed to release. Let go. Make space. Trust that what's meant to find you will find you when your hands are open enough to receive it. While you're in this season of disappearing, fix what's broken inside your daily routine. What time do you wake up? What do you consume first thing in the morning? What are you feeding your mind? Who are you talking to? What are you watching? You're the total of your daily habits. If your life isn't where you want it to be, your habits are the first thing to examine. You do not decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. Every single day, you're either building the life you want or you're tearing it down. Every action you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. And those votes add up. They compound over time. Small choices may consistently lead to massive outcomes over the years. Look at your morning routine with honest eyes. Are you waking up with purpose, or are you hitting snooze until the last possible moment? Are you feeding your mind with content that elevates you, or are you scrolling through garbage that diminishes you? Are you moving your body, or are you neglecting the only vehicle you'll ever have? How you start your day determines how you live your life. The same goes for what you do at night. Are you staying up late consuming negativity, or are you resting so you can rise refreshed